There is someone who is pure gold in Congress. Not only does she have golden hair, but she had a golden series of questions about the gold that flowed into Joe Biden's bank accounts. Now, will we find gold bars like Gold Bar Bob in New Jersey? Well, we know that Hunter Biden was bribed with a massive rock from the communist Chinese. And somebody who is there to hunt down this information is the great Marjorie Taylor Greene. She joins us now. Marjorie, we really appreciate you being on the show. The reason why is that, one, we know that it's really hard for members of Congress to use doors. And you probably had to use a door to get into this interview. And you might have pulled the fire alarm. Maybe you're wearing this color of dress to remind you that the red means fire alarm and not doorknob.
Hey, fire alarms are going off everywhere in Washington, D.C., but it's not Jamal Bowman that pulled it this time. I have to tell you, though, Jamal can't lie his way out of this one. We all know where the tunnels are to get to the Capitol to go vote. And he may be a freshman in Congress, but he's been here too long to lie about going out that door right behind him in that picture. And being a middle school principal, I'm sure you've called this out, Benny. He knows exactly what fire alarms do, and he knows that they're breaking federal law to pull one for a stunt like he pulled.
I feel like there's bigger things to talk about. Obviously, I really want to get into your questioning on the impeachment inquiry of Joe Biden. But this story really, as somebody who worked on the Hill, and I was a reporter on the Hill for ages, I've been in and out of Capitol Hill and through the tunnels and everything, this is such a blatant lie. They circled the wagons around this guy because he was presumably trying to stop the vote. Is that your takeaway here?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Benny. I work in the Cannon building. That's where my office is. Catherine Clark, the Democrat whip, had just called a motion to adjourn. The Democrats were trying to stall the vote because the Senate was trying to get the Ukraine money put back in after I had worked all week long, Benny, to force the Ukraine money out of the defense bill. And I had been successful, and they were losing their minds. They were all giving floor speech after floor speech about the Ukraine money needs to be in the defense bill and how they would have to stand for democracy in a country most people can't find on the map. And so right after Catherine Clark called for the motion to adjourn, it was within probably just a few minutes, not more than 2 or 3 minutes. That's when Jamal Bowman pulled the fire alarm and we all had to evacuate the Cannon office building. Well, I have to tell you, we couldn't go down the elevators. Everyone had to go down the stairs, and it took a long time for everyone to get out of the building. I stayed outside waiting to make sure that all of my staff had made it out safely, also watching for smoke. Is there a fire? Or is the fire department coming? Is it a bomb threat? What is going on? So he definitely interrupted our proceedings in Congress, and he broke the exact same law that is being used against not only many January 6th defendants, but President Trump himself have been charged with that law. Jamal Bowman should be locked up. U.S. Attorney Matthew Graves of the Department of Justice should be charging him and going after him the same way he's going after January 6th defendants every single day. And I am not going to back down from this one. Jamal Bowman has to be held accountable.
What would be the process here? Would you refer him? I mean, would Kevin McCarthy refer criminal charges?
There needs to be a criminal referral to the Department of Justice, and that will have to come through one of our committees. I know we'll be talking about that today in Washington.
Wow. Okay. Well, we haven't covered the story. We covered it this weekend, but we haven't covered it on the show in breadth. But thank you for filling us in. Final note here. This is a blatant lie.
Yes.
He's lying. Right? We know he's lying. They're letting him get away with it. Is there anyone on the Democrat side that's like, wait a second, this is really stupid. You're clearly lying about this. What are you doing?
I haven't heard anyone on the Democrat side come out and accuse Jamal Bowman. Can you imagine, Benny, if I had pulled the fire alarm? Oh,
you'd be in shackles.
Lord.
You'd be in chains. You'd be in chains, Marjorie.
Yes, I would be in chains. They'd have me in the DC gulag like today. I'd be still sitting in there, and I'd have stayed in there all weekend long. No, this is outrageous. Democrats are liars. They always stick together and defend each other until it becomes a political problem. That's why they're denouncing Menendez. It's only because he's up for re-election for Senate, and they don't want to lose the seat. And right now they're standing by Joe Biden. But when it comes to be a political problem for them, they're going to throw him under the bus, and they're going to finally admit that everything that we're saying with our impeachment inquiry is absolutely true, that Joe Biden has been taking millions of dollars for years now, giving political favors to foreign investors and foreign governments. So the Democrat Party, it's all about winning campaigns. It's all about power and control in Washington, and they'll abuse the system any way they can.
So speaking of throwing someone under the bus, you threw a member of the Oversight Committee directly under a bus. I'm not sure what kind of bus it would be, some type of green battery-powered bus, but a bus nonetheless. You took AOC and you metaphorically chucked her under a bus during the hearing, and it was a thing of beauty. I'm going to play it for everyone. Just a real quick clip here. It was one of my favorite moments, arguably my favorite moment of the committee hearing. Ladies and gentlemen, AOC's glasses, does she use them? Let's roll the tape.
At least without running it.
A bathing suit is not pornography.
Well, we can't see it from down there, so you didn't make it available to the minority before you started.
Seen it before. It's
Okay.
it's on the internet. It's everywhere.
You are submitting a naked woman's body,
This is a bathing suit. This is a bathing suit.
and it has not been clear before this committee.
Glasses on. Do you wear them or not? It's a
I have
bathing
contacts in.
suit.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I have contact then. Thank you. This was a bit meow, Marjorie. Meow. Okay, talk me through what was going on there. You were exposing Hunter Biden's degeneracy and potential sex trafficking.
It's sex trafficking. It's violations of the Mann Act, and he's guilty of it. And we're presenting so much proof. And that's what I was hammering right then in the Oversight Committee hearing. I was presenting more proof of Hunter Biden's crimes of human trafficking, paying women for sex, traveling them across state lines. And that poster right there was showing an airplane ticket and also had pictures from sex videos that Hunter Biden had uploaded to his laptop on his own. It wasn't revenge porn, and she wasn't naked. She was in a bathing suit. But you know, AOC probably wears fake glasses because we all know she's fake. She makes more makeup tutorial videos on TikTok than anyone can count. And then she was claiming it was a naked woman, but yet she was saying that she had contacts in. So either she needs a new prescription for her contacts, or she's a liar and her glasses aren't even real.
So that obviously was high drama moment, but your line of questioning was really pointed. Can you talk me through what the impeachment inquiry found this past week? And there's a lot that's been going on. I feel like we haven't properly covered all this, and where you're going next.
Okay, so what we exposed this week is more evidence of the Biden family taking in millions and millions of dollars from foreign countries and foreign investors, all using Joe Biden's political positions, which he's been doing for years. So in each of our 5 minutes, we only get 5 minutes to question our witnesses or to present our information. We all went through exposing more information that we have recovered through subpoena power. In my 5 minutes, I brought up the attention to the fact that James Comer and I, Chairman Comer, we have sent 2 letters to the Department of Justice demanding information back about their investigation into Hunter Biden and where they stand on these Mann Act violations. This is real human sex trafficking that's been done by then the Vice President of the United States and now the President of the United States. It's very serious. But what was even more disturbing in the information that I presented to the committee, Benny, is that he had threatened one of these victims. He had threatened her. He had told her to look up who his father was, demanded that she look it up on Google and look up and to see who her father was. She said she didn't want to look it up. And then he forced her to see who her father was, who his father was, by showing her a picture of his father, Joe Biden, with Barack Obama. And that was at the time when Joe Biden was vice president and Barack Obama was actually president of the United States. And she went back and talked to her roommate about the whole situation. And her roommate told her that she said, "You have no idea who you are dealing with." Both women were scared. And Hunter Biden's victim that he had sex trafficked across the country with human sex trafficking, she even testified. She's told a police officer that was interviewing her that she began to feel very afraid. So this is very serious. It cannot be ignored. It's not pornography being shown on the Oversight Committee. And Democrats are trying to explain it away by attacking me for showing these pictures of these extremely vulnerable women who have been victims of Hunter Biden's sex trafficking.
It does seem as though the number one person in Congress who would wrap herself in the fake virtue of standing up against racism and against sexism and against the abuse of women, obviously by their employer. We know Hunter Biden had these employees that he would sexually abuse, would be AOC. If there's one person that should link arms with you and say, yeah, Hunter Biden referred to Asian people as yellow. Don't come after me. That's in his own text message and uses the N-word a lot. Like, this is what Hunter Biden did. And along with all of the, of course, criminal violations of various sex trafficking laws, it should be AOC. I mean, if there's one person who should be joining you here, like, you'd think AOC would put down the fake glasses and would be like, I see this now, and I'm on your side. This man's a monster. But you didn't get any of that, did you?
No, and these victims didn't get any of that. They have no sympathy from any female Democrat on our Oversight Committee. And AOC, you're right, Benny, that is an excellent point. She's always defending women and their so-called health care rights to abortion, which is murdering a baby in the womb. But yet she has no interest, and none of the women on that committee have any interest standing up for these victims of Hunter Biden that have been victims of human sex trafficking. And it's outrageous. So it shows their hypocrisy. It also shows their refusal to recognize the truth and their ability to spin it any way they want, which they're clearly being outed for who they really are.
Yeah, that's right. Anything for power. Final question, Marjorie, where are we going next? What can we expect next? Because a lot of people were like, okay, Jonathan Turley, some of the academics, right? Like some of the academics were brought in to sort of lay the foundations for what the committee's doing. And then people want to see Bob Alinsky. People want to see Devin Archer. People want to see Hunter Biden.
Yes.
I'm like, you're very close with the Trump family. I'm pretty close with Don and Eric. Like, these guys were dragged in for hours for questioning. Right. Like, when the hell is Hunter Biden going to be?
Yes. I totally
waking
agree,
up.
Benny. Totally agree. Eric Trump has been subpoenaed over 400 times. Don Jr. was pulled in front of the committee. The Trump family has been harassed and tormented by the Democrats for years now. They're trying to do everything from devalue Mar-a-Lago, which is one of the most valuable properties in the country. They're trying to devalue it down to nothing, and they're trying to break the Trump family by forcing them to have to pay outrageous legal bills with all of these persecutions they're doing through the legal system. But no, you're absolutely right. I'm demanding that Hunter Biden be subpoenaed. I want Joe Biden subpoenaed. Right now, we've subpoenaed Hunter Biden's financial records. We have subpoenaed Jim Biden's financial records. We want to view all of his financial records, and then we want them before our committee because we want to have solid questions for them. What we're doing right now is we're spending our time carefully going through the money trail so that they cannot lie. No matter how many times they try, they cannot lie in front of our committee when we force them to come in. And so I assure everyone, I share the exact same sentiment. I'm impatient. I'm sick and tired of this. No one is ever held accountable. No one is ever thrown in jail unless you're a Republican or you wear a MAGA hat. But it's time that we turn the tables, and those are the changes we need in Washington, and I'll keep fighting for those changes. So
a final thing, a final takeaway here, and I know that you were one of the largest advocates for Kevin McCarthy during his speakership votes. I think that Kevin McCarthy's there's a lot going on right now in Congress. Can you just give me, like, apparently there's going to be a vote to vacate the speakership. Can you give me like can you give our audience like just an overview of what's going to happen this week? Where do you stand? What are the competing forces here?
I'll do my best, and it's hard to explain it quickly, but I'll do my best, Benny, and everyone deserves an explanation. First off, I want to give some factual information. We've got about 70% of the budget actually passed through our appropriation bills. And I just want to say the defense bill was a huge win. I was able to get the Ukraine money taken out of that. And I think that's a victory for every single American, because our border is under invasion, and all our stupid federal government is doing is continuing the same practice of fighting foreign wars and
Yes.
defending foreign borders and ignoring our own people, but making our people pay for it. So I can't reiterate that enough. I also want to say, whether you like Kevin McCarthy or not, I couldn't have gotten that Ukraine money out of that defense bill if Kevin McCarthy had not have listened to me. So that needs to be said, and credit is due there, and people need to hear that, whether they're mad at him or not. We also have 8 remaining appropriation bills to pass, but we have less than 45 days to get it done. I voted no on both continuing resolutions because I'm sick and tired of kicking the can down the road. I'm sick and tired of us running out of time and shutdowns being threatened. I'm sick and tired of omnibus bills. We need to do it right. But really, the whole reason why we're in this situation is because it's a system of failure that happens every single year. And that's based on the calendar, Benny. We have a fiscal year end on September 30th, but yet Congress goes home every single August and half of September. So
Yeah.
it's absolutely absurd for anyone to think that we can pass this budget and these bills by the year end. It's a system of failure, and that's what I'm angry about. I'm angry at Kevin McCarthy. I'm angry at the leadership, and I'm going to be demanding change, because what we need to do is we need to change our calendar system that forces Congress to stay here in Washington, D.C. and get our work done, and
Right.
then we can go home. And it shouldn't back up to a deadline that punishes the country. It shouldn't back up to a deadline that punishes, frankly, our own family. And our own families are the ones that are always put last. Birthdays are forgotten. Special events you have to miss them because you got to be here in Washington because the government's going to shut down, or because we got to pass these important bills. No, all of it needs to change. We need a calendar system of success, and then we need to continue to do the hard work that we're doing right now. I'm not for a motion to vacate, and I'll tell you why. We're in a dangerous situation, seriously dangerous situation. We barely have 222 seats, and we don't even have that right now. We need 218 votes to pass anything on the House floor. If we go into a motion to vacate, it is going to cause our conference to go into utter failure the rest of the way through, when we're in such dangerous times. We're on the verge of World War III. That has become my number one issue. Enough of this money to Ukraine. We have got to secure our own border. Another thing that we still have coming is we have a weaponized government, and I want to attack the weaponized government. We have to stop them because they're persecuting our top Republican candidate, President Trump. And to be honest, Benny, nothing is going to change until we get President Trump back in the White House. And that's why I'm going to support him with every cell in my body to get him back in that White House. But what we have to do is we have to have cool heads. We have to realize that the predicament that we're in, that has everybody angry, we got here over decades of failure in Washington.
Yes.
It didn't happen in the past 8 months. It has been happening a long time, and it's going to take us a long time to get out of it. And if anybody goes after Matt Gaetz, I heard there was some kind of expel resolution for Matt Gaetz. I'm going to come after them. I'm not going to let anybody go after my friend Matt Gaetz. I'll stand up for him all day long, but I will not participate in demanding Kevin McCarthy's head on a platter simply because the internet pitchfork mob and tiki torch mob is angry, and you can never make them happy. We have to lead this country responsibly, and that means we have to get in the room, we have to fight it out, and we have to continue to pass the bills like the defense bill that is so great. And we have to continue to do that hard work, and we have to work 24 hours around the clock if we have to do it. And I think that we can get that done, but we aren't going to do it if we throw ourselves in utter chaos where the Democrats are over there cheering and they're able to extract little favors and extract deals that are, frankly, Benny, going to come down to hurting my just the path that I've been pursuing for a long time now, which is to impeach Joe Biden and hold him accountable and get a list of names in the federal agencies that covered up his crimes. Because we need that list of names when we get President Trump back in the White House, so that we can fire those people and so that we can hold them accountable with our Department of Justice.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, please keep doing your work. Please. We are with you. We say yes. It is a good path. It is it's not like a fire and brimstone path. Cutting off your nose to spite your face, I think, is the old adage. Like, I think this is the path, and you have to play by the margins. Yes. And they will cheer the chaos. They want to seed chaos among us in our ranks. And the thing that the communist has is they go lockstep together on these issues. They're always on message together. Not a single person criticized Jamal Bowman for staging an insurrection in the Congress. Not a single Democrat, right? On message. And I think Republicans would be wise to do that as well far more often. And I think we'd be far more effective. You are one of the most effective members of Congress. Everyone follow Marjorie Taylor Greene. You already probably do, but ladies and gentlemen, 2.7 million people can't be wrong. Follow her on X and make her more powerful. Godspeed, Congresswoman.
Thank you, Benny.